last episode, I took you up into the ambient cloud-filled troposphere. Now let's climb higher into the stratosphere. The stratosphere is the second layer of Earth's atmosphere, and the very thin air here is dry, cloudless, and filled with ozone, a molecule comprised of 3 oxygen atoms, which acts as a natural sunscreen for the Earth, blocking and absorbing the sun's UV rays. In fact, ozone absorbs so much of the visible light spectrum that ozone in gas form is the color blue. All of this is a roundabout way of saying the blues. This episode is going to feature the blues. But not only that, we're going to look at methods to achieve lo-fi sounds, including the thin, airy, filtered sounds of old-fashioned radios and telephones, the wobble, crackle, and hiss of magnetic tape and vinyl, and the low-fidelity sample rate of old-school samplers. Let's look at the key elements of blues music. Instrumentation is often guitar-driven, but can also use piano and walking bass accompaniments, and other instruments can be used as well. Papa Charlie Jackson was one of the first recorded blues musicians, and he played the banjo. "12-bar chord progression. You can hear such a basic progression in Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. I played this on my hollow body Ibanez Artcore, and wanted to get a classic, gritty sort of drive to it. So I started by trying The Very Thing by Snake Oil Fine Instruments, since this tube screamer style drive has a warm, medium gain retro kind of sound to it, but it fell a little flat. I also tried the Joy of American Sound, since I'm recording directly and not through an amp, and this pedal can emulate old school Fender style amps, but this too didn't quite have the punch I wanted on its own. What I found was that gain stacking The Very Thing into the American Sound worked wonders for giving me the grit, punch, and tone shaping that I wanted. Blue notes include a flat third for major keys and a flat fifth for minor blues scales, but in chord progressions the dissonance is often created by playing seventh chords. Let's play an example of electric guitar-driven blues with the intro to the T-Bone Shuffle by T-Bone Walker. I'm going to use the same Very Thing into American Sound gain stacking that I used for Pride and Joy to really accentuate that electric guitar sound. Let's talk about ways to harken back to the nostalgic retro sounds imparted by low-fidelity recordings of the past. There are a variety of effects pedals that will get you the wobbly, warble, and slight pitch bending of vinyl or tape, and many of them even include artifacts like crackle, pop, hiss, or stutter to complete the illusion. In episode 3, I showcased some of these sounds using my Walrus M1 modulation pedal, which includes nice tape and vinyl modes. One of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to achieve lo-fi sounds, especially when recording in a studio, is to use VST plugins. 2 full-featured ones that give a whole range of lo-fi effects are XLN Audio's RC20 Retro Color and the more affordable Teletone Vybz. Both of these plugins offer a variety of combined effects, from frequency filtering to get that telephone or radio sound. To noise layers such as the hiss and crackle of vinyl. For trippy digital retro sounds, you can also dial in sample rate reduction and bit crushing. You can also find virtual instruments that automatically include lo-fi effects built into them. And some of these are even free, such as tape piano and cassette synths from Spitfire Audio. But my current favorite is Vespertone by Teletone Audio. It's actually a collection of multiple old-school keyboard and metallophone instruments, including the vibraphone, celeste, Rhodes piano, and Wurlitzer. You can control sliders for the closeness of the mic, the cabinet sounds, and the room and plate reverbs. But in addition to that, there's also arpeggiation, modulation, and more to warp those old-school instruments into ambient, psychedelic, and lo-fi mutations. Let's take a listen. Here's the basic sound of the vibraphone. Now let's turn on arpeggiation. Cranking up the spirit adds reverb. Now let's add some soul, which combines a variety of modulation types such as chorus, phaser, and flanger to provide subtle movement with varying degrees of stereo that you can control. Now let's hear the celeste, with some moderate body which alters the actual tone of the instruments through frequency filtering and more. Let's crank up the age and turn on the wow effect for the Rhodes piano, which will showcase the subtle lo-fi warble of an old tape recording. Now let's add some soul to provide some subtle stereo modulation. Cranking the body shows you just how much the core tone can be altered, in this case turning into a thin, fuzzy, synth-like sound. finally, we'll bump the noise level up a little bit to give the slight crackle and hiss of an old recording, as well as increasing the modulation slightly for a subtle tremolo effect. Finally, let's hear the Wurlitzer, but we'll add some wow and noise to get that old school lo-fi kind of sound. Let's use a combination of these sounds to create a retro, bluesy cover of Is There Anyone Out There by Toad the Wet Sprocket. First, I looked up the chord progression, which is in B-flat major, and this was the foundation for bluesing it up a bit. I didn't change it completely to a 12-bar blues song, but what I did do was stick to a typical 1-4-5 chord progression, which would be B-flat, E-flat, F. And then I created some bluesy tension or dissonance by introducing minor sevenths via changing the E-flat and F to seventh chords. I played this on my Les Paul style Ibanez Arcore, through a black twin reverb amp emulation in my Hotone Ampero, and finally into the Walrus M1 for some subtle vinyl emulation. Simple driving drum beat, and for this I decided to use my Live and Lo-Fi 12. This is a sampler and step sequencer that can do quite a bit. In addition to low fidelity 12-bit or high fidelity 24-bit sampling, it has a variety of LFOs, frequency filtering, effects such as compression and chorus and delay, and also has a variety of reverb styles. I had only used the built-in preset samples previously, so this was a good opportunity to try some of my own sampling, and I wanted to try grabbing a drum loop from one of my records. I don't have many, but I decided to peruse my jazz side of mod tracks, and I fairly quickly found an isolated drum beat in King Curtis's Lowdown. This is more of a jazzy sound, or perhaps rhythm and blues, but it sounds a lot like an up-tempo swing blues beat, which I thought would work with my strumming. So I sampled that and decided to also apply the vinyl type of reverb, which is actually not reverb but is a global effect to achieve the crackle and frequency of a vinyl record. For the vocals, I decided to use a quick and easy low fidelity tool, a telephone. This old school phone receiver was modded by Etsy seller Astronaut to become a microphone, and it does in fact impart the airy frequencies of an old school telephone. Here's what the vocals would sound like on my Nady PCM100 condenser mic. Is there anyone out there? And here's what they sound like through the phone mic with no additional processing. Is there anyone out there? The guitar, drums, and vocals gave me a basic bluesy song, but it felt a little anemic, so I thought this would be a good excuse to use Vespertone. I decided on the Rhodes keyboard for a sound that was a borderline between jazz, blues, and R&B, and I made sure to age it with some lo-fi tape wobble and more right within the plugin. Shadow storm message in perfect words. How can we expect to speak the truth? I need you closer. I need you still. No matter how I seem to disappear from you. Is there anyone out there? Is there anyone out there calling for you? 'Cause I don't know how to reach across the breach too deep between us. Is there anyone out there who feels the way I do?